Hey all, just with hindsight. What you're looking at here is what I have found to be the online Swaybar link workaround with 3-inch drop beam installation. I don't really like this. So I don't have it completely installed. I didn't get the bottom bolt jammed in there, but it's close, it's lined up, it's flat right there. Put everything together here, and when you tighten it all up, which I had before, we got metal on metal contact there, and I'm just not happy with that. So the big reason, I guess, behind all of this is originally, when the spindle and everything was down in stock height, these Swaybar links would go down, and you actually had the one from the other side would be here, and it would look something like that. Well, actually, I guess it depends upon how you wanted to install it. Either way, you get it in there, and then the square bar would be down here and bolt together. Well, when you do the drop, that puts the tie rod in the way, no matter what you do here. So it has been stated that you take the driver's side, put it on the passenger side, and you take the passenger side and put it on the driver's side, which is great. You could put it on that way, but then this gets really close to the coil spring. Put it on this way, it looks like it works. Everything works pretty good. You put the sway bar above the mount, and then you put it all together. Well, when you tighten this down, this area right here of the metal comes in contact. And when I say contact, I mean tight. And I didn't like that. It just wasn't gonna fly for me. So I went and got a female and a male rod end. I went ahead and got right hand threads so they could go together about the same length, eye to eye, as the other. And if you really wanted to, which I may, I'm going to put it all together. I haven't put it all 100% together yet. You could cut this off, cut this female off, and then cut the male threads off and make it the same length. I'm going to go with this for right now and see what it's like. So I got 1/2 inch, which 1/2 inch bolt will fit in here, 1/2 inch bolt will not fit in here, so I will end up drilling this out. And I also got high alignment spacers to put on, so when it's together, it will look like this. Right there. And then I'm just cheating and using the 12mm bolt right now, the factory one. So there's no binding. You can actually turn that a little bit, so you got quite a bit of wiggle room. One of the hiccups is the high alignment spacers that you need to put in down here, just a little bit too thick. So we'll machine that enough off of each one of them. Pretty much that whole shoulder, that flat shoulder, will be gone, and then they'll fit in there. I'll work on that. Well, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll figure that out when we get there. And then there we go. I will end up getting a longer bolt, because this one right now, the shoulder comes out just to the edge, right where the alignment spacer and the heims meet. I want a little bit more shoulder out here, and then I'll put a lock nut on and cut the rest of the threads off that aren't being used. I always like having as much shoulder in something like this as opposed to having any threads in the middle, because it can cause a weak point and something very easily break. Down here it won't be as eaten, it won't be as bad because you're held on both sides. So the only other thing now is when you had the links like that in there, there's enough non-movement in the rubber to keep the sway bar from going side to side. Right now, there's really not a whole lot to keep it going side to side. The only thing that would is the angle of both of the Heims joints, because one's angled up this way and one's angled up that way. That'll keep it from going side to side. But I decided to get some split collar, 1-inch split collars to go around the sway bar next to where it mounts. So I'm going to put one up against it on the inside here, and on the far side the same way on the inside. And then that'll keep the sway bar from going side to side at all. Just a little bit of peace of mind. So there is my sway bar link fix. The only other thing, well, and one of the reasons why I may shorten it up is we are pretty close right here to the coil spring. So if I shorten this up and lower that down, I can get that sway bar in between the coils. Hopefully that will keep anything from touching. Or I could actually move. I thought about moving these forward, but I don't know how much that would get me. I'm going to start with shortening that Heims joint set there. I will list part numbers that I used in the description. I got them from Rod End Supply, which is right up the street from me, but seems like a lot of things around this part of the country, it's super close. Everything's within an hour drive. It seems like we can go to a lot of places and get a lot of parts. One of them that I just discovered was Aeromotive. It's about a 35-minute drive from my house. I didn't realize they were right here. So at any rate, that is my sway bar link fix for 3-inch drop beams on a Lightning. All right, so there is about 99% done. Ended up trimming a 32nd off of each one of these to get it to fit in between. I just used a aluminum file and a little bit of elbow grease on those cone spacers. Plenty of movement, top and bottom. When it's on the ground, ride height and everything, I'll adjust the length on both of them so they're static, neutral, or I don't know, whatever word you want to use there. I'll trim these bolts up, get them squared away. I'll put a fine threaded bolt in down here to match whatever with a lock nut. So then the other is the cone space, or the split washers, split split collars, whatever you want to call those. I put one on each side right there, so there's no way that sway bar is going to walk back and forth. So this distance here will be the same on both sides pretty much all the time. So there it is. There we have it. Stay tuned for more.